All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back. It's a really rainy, cold day, and I figured this would be a great time to do a live stream. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. I'm cooped up at home, so it is what it is. Today, I want to go over the rod and reel setups, especially when I'm using a bait casting reel. I wanted to talk about that, especially when I'm on a kayak, because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm always changing my rod and reel setups. I'm always switching rods around, using different types of baits and lures, and I get a lot of questions from you guys asking me what do I recommend, what's my setup. So I figured today would be a good day to touch base on that. But real quick, can you guys hear me? You guys, I see there's people on. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, please. Yes, perfect. Okay, here we go. All right, let me just get to my. So what I'm doing is I have my phone because there. I tried to do a live stream earlier, maybe about 30 minutes ago, but YouTube on a computer is asking me to download some kind of encoding device, and it's just a lot of work. So I figured I'd use my phone. So I'm using my phone, and I have my computer going too at the same time, so I don't miss any questions. But what's going on, fellas? I'm glad that you guys. How's everyone doing? Everyone doing good? Is everyone doing good? Yeah, man. I hope you guys are I hope you guys are doing well. Right now, it's a crazy time in our world. I know you guys are sick and tired of hearing the COVID-19 coronavirus, but it is what it is. And I hear it more than anyone else because a lot of you guys know I'm a clinical pharmacist. I'm working in the front lines, and I am actually seeing these patients that are affected by this virus, and it sucks, man. It really sucks. Hopefully, we can get over this hump as soon as possible. But I hate to say it, but the worst is about to come. We haven't even hit our peak, according to our healthcare professionals that are using statistics and math. So it is what it is, and I hope you guys are being safe out there. And just a friendly reminder that practice your social distancing. If you can, stay home. If not, go enjoy the outdoors. Governor Abbott has told us that we can go hunting, we can go fishing. There's no restrictions to it as long as you're practicing the social distancing thing. So there's that. Now, keep in mind some of the boat launches that you might see throughout the Texas coast, some of them might be closed. For example, Texas City, I heard, has completely closed on the dike on the weekends. So I don't know. But as long as you're enjoying the outdoors and doing your part in social distancing, I don't see anything wrong with fishing because when you're a fisherman, you're kind of an introvert, right? And you kind of do it all alone. I mean, you might go out with your friends and stuff, and that's all good and stuff, especially if you're in a kayak. But make sure you keep that distance from each other. So, but yeah. So I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well myself. For a minute, all right, I'm not gonna lie. For a minute, I was feeling a little bit under the weather a few days ago, but it was just the common allergies. My employee health, they were monitoring me. Nothing is wrong. I'm good to go. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, let's. Yeah, I want to talk about my rod and reel setup real quick. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of questions about kayaks and whatever it is that you want to talk about, but that's cool. We'll let you guys dictate this live stream. I haven't, like I said, I haven't done a live stream in a while, and it's good to get back on and say what's up to you guys. But really quick, let me show you guys right here real quick. Here are my rod and reel setups so far. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these are all just bait casters only. This is what I usually take in the marsh. Like I said earlier, I am always changing my setups, but right now I am carrying 5 fishing rods, bait casters, specifically on my kayak, and a lot of you guys are probably going to think that's overkill, and to a point, yes, I agree with you, it is probably an overkill, but I don't know about you, but I just hate tying new lures and rigs on. It's just, I don't know, man. It seems like a waste of time to me. So that's why I always have 5 different setups, 5 different baits on it, so I can easily change out, like, whatever's not working, I'll switch out to another setup. And yeah, that's that. But first of all, let me show you exactly. This is my first setup right here. This is my ultralight. Right here is my Luz custom light. This is the brand new model that came out for late 2019, 2020. It was at ICAST this past summer. But this thing right here is money. I have this on the ultralight suppressor old 18 rod. As you can see, this right here is my Bugs, Flats Bug setup, the black and gold with a Slabalicious trailer at the end. Right here, this is Japanese braid. As you can see, that this is like dental floss. It's very, very thin. This right here, I believe, is rated up to 12 pounds of strength. This is all Japanese line. I bought this from a Japanese website. If you guys are interested, just send me an email and I will send you the direct link of this exact line that I'm using on the custom light Luz. This thing has been a very, very pretty cool setup to fish with because it's so light. This reel right here is only 4.8 or 4.9 ounces, but I mean, you pair it up with a rod that's, I believe, is right at 3 ounces. You're looking at a setup less than 9 ounces. This thing you can throw all day long. This thing is money, man, especially with that Japanese line right here. Ultralight stuff like this 1/8 ounce Flats Bug, no problem. You can fling it all day long. This right here is money right here. So this is setup number 1. Setup number 2, I carry another ultralight. Let me show you. Here's another ultralight. This one is the Shimano Scorpion BFS model. This also is a Japanese market reel. I think it's also in Asia. Unfortunately, they don't have it in US. I bought it on a Japanese tackle website. Like I said, if you guys are interested in purchasing the stuff that I'm using, just send me an email and I'll be more than happy to send you the direct link. Same thing, I have the Japanese braided line right here. This right here is equate to the same one that you saw in my Luz. I think it's up to 12 pounds of strength and it's thinner than 5-pound braid. This thing is ultra small. I have it on the old 18 ultralight rod right here. This is my second ultralight setup that I use when I'm kayak fishing in the marsh. I like to carry at least a minimum 2 ultralight setups because, as you guys know, I love bugs fishing lures. Here's the hothead that you see. This right here is the, I want to say it's a 3/16 ounce, I believe, maybe the 1/8 ounce. But either way, you need an ultralight setup like this to throw a small lure like this, a shrimp imitation. This thing has been money, man. I mean, I've caught some massive reds on this setup right here. Once again, Shimano Scorpion BFS with Shimano Pitbull. Oh yeah, that's the name of it. Pitbull braided line, ultralight old 18 rod. That's setup number 2. Let me show you my other setup. All right, as you guys know, I absolutely love the Bugs curl tail, especially this black and gold. This is by far my favorite Bugs fishing lure that I love to throw. If you were going to ask me, what if I was only going to pick one Bugs fishing lure to fish with majority of the time, this will be it right here. This is my bread and butter, Bugs. Has caught me everything from redfish, flounder, trout. You can work it all different ways, especially when you pair it up with a biobait grub trailer like this. You can actually use it as a swim bait. So I've been using this a lot because it mimics almost a paddle tail, and at the same time it mimics a small little crab imitation where you can scoot it in the mud. Has a rattlers on it. This right here is a 1/8 size. This right here is the ultralight light from old 18, so it's right in between a light action model and an ultralight, but I consider it an ultralight. I have the Shimano Calcutta BFS old 18 rod. Once again, this is the this right here is the Shimano Pitbull braid. I believe this is a little bit thicker. This is rated close to 20 pounds, and look how thin it is. It is equivalent to 5-pound braid in diameter for the US. So I don't know about you, but Japanese, man, they have some crazy stuff in their fishing market. Some really high-tech stuff that you don't see here in the States. But right here, this is my bread and butter. This is my bread and butter bugs. If you guys, like I said, if you guys ask me what is the one lure that I would always put my money on when it comes to bugs fishing lures, it's the curl tail, the black and gold. The crab color is absolute, has worked really well for me too. So the two colors is the black and gold and crab. I lean more on the black and gold, but let me show you. This right here is the crab color imitation, and I always change out the trailer. Sorry Heath, I just prefer my own trailers than the ones that you provide with the lures itself. And don't get me wrong, they still catch fish, but I just have more confidence with changing out the lure. So that's setup number 3, all right? Setup number 4. All right, this is setup number 4. This is my paddle tail rig, okay? This is a light action old 18 suppressor rod. I have a 1/8 ounce owner swim hook right here. And this is the BioBait bass color. This is the color I actually really like. This and the smelt I've caught the most fish with. So I'm very, very happy with these two colors. Right here, this is a new reel. You guys have not seen me. I just actually ordered it through Amazon. And this is a Shimano Corrado 70. And I have it, this is 10-pound Power Pro braid. I just recently got this set up. I haven't even fished it yet. But this is the old 18 light action rod. This is a very, very versatile setup right here, meaning you can throw a paddle tail and you can throw a 1/8 ounce Bugs curl tail lure. It works both ways, but I like using a paddle tail with this setup right here. This thing I've caught so many fish with the old 18, the rod itself, but the reel is new. Reason why I went with a Corrado 70 is because the Corrado K is, I've had it before, it's too big. I think it's I want to say 150 size, whereas a Corrado 70 is a 70 size, so it's in between the 50 and the 100. So therefore you can palm it easily, throw light finesse lures, and at the same time it can handle the bigger lures. Say if I want to use a 1/4 ounce jig head or a 1/4 ounce swim hook, then this would handle it no problem. I think this has like 10 pounds of drag, but I'm really excited to use this in the marsh. I'll be honest with you, man. I know you guys see me with Shimanos a lot. Shimanos I've been using most of my life. But they do take a beating just like any other reel company. And I do have to maintain it more than usual because, I mean, I fish so many times per year. I think I calculated I fish over 100 times a year. So, I mean, if you just look how many videos I post, that's how many times I go out. So a lot of my reels take a beating. And yeah, I'm really excited about this Corrado 70. It's an old model. It's been out in the market for about 3 years. If you need a Amazon link, just email me. I'd be more than happy to hook you guys up. But yeah, man, you can get these at a discounted price, and I'm pretty happy so far after, you know, casting it a few times out in my yard and palming it in my hand, and how it really balances out with the light action old 18 rod here. Pretty excited, man. I'm ready to catch some big fish. So this is setup number, what was it? Setup number 4, right? So let me show you my 5th and last setup. Here's my 5th and last setup. This is a Daiwa. This ain't a Shimano. This is a Daiwa Tatula 100. Tatula 100 HSL. I just bought this also on sale. I wanted to try out Daiwa just to give some other companies a try. I've used 13 Fishing. I've used Luz, Shimano. This would be my first Daiwa ever. What else? I know I used a couple other companies, but I'm really excited. I have this paired up with the Hollow Point, old 18 Hollow Point. This is a medium action rod. This is not your regular 7-footer though. This is the 6'3" version. So this is a perfect wade fishing setup, and I got this setup because when I went wade fishing out in Matagorda, I was throwing corkies. I needed something heavier, and this threw it no problem. I have it paired up with a 1/4 ounce. This is a new Hydro Bug from Bugs Lures. This thing is pretty big, man. It's a big bait, big swim bait, especially when it gets wet. 1/4 ounce turns to probably close to a 1/2 ounce. So you need a medium action setup, and this old 18 Hollow Point is perfect. I do have an old 18 suppressor medium rod, But actually, I do prefer the 6'3" length on this. You know, I apologize. It's not 6'3", it's 6'7". I don't know where I got the 6'3" from, but 6'7" length. This pairs up really nicely. I have it paired up with, this is Power Pro 15-pound braid. And I'm really excited to throw this. I got this reel specifically to be used with the Hydra Bug and with other bigger swim baits. Say if I want to throw it like a Yozuri, like a twitch bait that's heavier, I don't know, a crankbait, whatever. Maybe even a, gosh, I probably can use it with topwater too. But yeah, it's pretty versatile with the bigger baits, so that's why I have this set up here. That's why I'm carrying this as my number 5 rod and reel setup. Now, I'm not biased to just bait casts, all right? I have spinning rod and reel setups too. However, I don't know, when I go fishing, I prefer to use a bait caster. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like my accuracy is better. I'm much faster at engaging the drag, and I don't know, I just feel more comfortable with a bait caster. So usually when I go kayak fishing or wade fishing, you'll see me using a bait casting setup. Now, don't get me wrong, if I'm going to be throwing a popping cork, if I feel like I'm going to be using live shrimp, which I really don't do much, but if I tend to do it, I'm pulling out my spinning rod and reel setup, and I have about 4 of those too, which I'll show you guys in the next video, maybe. All right, so I know that's a lot, guys. Let me go through these questions here, man. Hold on, there's a lot of questions here. Give me a sec, okay? I'm gonna try to answer all y'all's questions. But I hope that was educational. All right, give me a sec. Sorry, guys, hold on. Boat launches are closed. RB Fishing, boat launch. Which boat launches are closed? I know the one, there's a couple in Matagorda that are closed. Texas City, obviously, the dike is closed on the weekends. That's weird. I didn't hear that one. That's new news. Let's see. If you have a private boat launch in Bolivar, well, that's awesome, man. I wish all of us would have a private boat launch. Let's see here. I prefer a lot of Japanese-made stuff. Why is that? Well, if you've been following me on my channel, I like to do a lot of the finesse fishing. The Japanese have been doing it for many, many years, and they've almost pretty much perfected it with, as you can see, for example, this Shimano Calcutta BFS. This is only available in Japan. BFS meaning bait finesse system, meaning it's designed to throw small light lures because their waters are so pressured in Japan. Those anglers have figured out that in order to catch a fish in those highly pressured waters in Japan, because Japan is so small, you need to throw light, lures, finesse lures, in order to get them to bite, because they've seen everything else. So that's why the Japanese use the BFS, and that's why I buy stuff from Japan, because I like to use finesse light action stuff here in Texas. And it's a growing trend. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of companies, after Old 18 has released their ultralight stuff, some of them start coming out with ultralight stuff, because the trend that it's happening on the Texas coast. People want to catch bigger fish and more fish and have a lot of fun while doing it. And in my opinion, the best way to do that, especially on our coast, is to go light action, light lures, bait finesse, all that good stuff. So that's why I prefer a lot of my things from Japan's, because they've, as you can see, the products they come out with, they've actually perfected it. So I hope that answers your questions. Same thing, why did I decide to go with the Japanese braid over any other? It's because they don't have this in the US market. They don't have these ultra thin braided lines that are, that have 20-pound test to them, that's thinner than what America has in their five braided diameter. So figure that out. That's amazing if you can come out with braided line that's, gosh, 4 times stronger and thinner than the 5 pound. So all right, let's see here. love the 70 for my jerk baits. Okay, good. So a lot of you guys have actually used the Corrado 70. That's good to know. Well, I mean, it's been on the market for a while, and I'm assuming a lot of people already used it, but that's good to know. Um, I'm like I said, I'm really excited to try that out in the marsh. So let's see here. H2O Express. Is that the new stuff from Academy? I think, right? H2O, that's the Academy brand. I haven't tried any of that stuff, but I see some of the other YouTubers doing some reviews. It looks like a pretty low cost reel setup. But whatever you guys can afford, whatever you can afford, and that'll catch you fish. That's my recommendation. Whether it be Shimano, whether it be Academy, Loose, Quantum, 13 Fishing, whatever can catch you fish. I encourage you to, work with that. What happened to my Z? I'm assuming you're talking about my Concept Z. I'll show you. Give me a sec. Here's my Concept Z. I just haven't used it in a while because I just find that I enjoy fishing with Shimano more. It's not a bad reel. You do have to maintain it though. If you don't maintain it correctly, it'll start grinding and you can feel it is not as smooth. I guess the gearing inside. It doesn't have the micro module, like the really, really microscopic teeth like Shimano has. And so you can actually feel the grind when you're reeling in, especially when you use it a lot in the saltwater. And I've actually, used this I want to say more than 100 times fishing on the Texas coast, and it's been a good reel. I just got this maintenance a while ago. It's just been sitting in my room. I just haven't used it, but yeah, I mean, most likely I think I will use it soon. But it's a great reel. Very innovative how they don't use any bearings. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. Why, you guys want to buy this one? It's a left-hander. If you want to buy some of my reels, let me know, man. Send me an email. I'm always up to selling some stuff and moving stuff out and always replacing it with other things. But yeah, here it is, the Concept Z. I still have it. Okay, Abu Garcia. Yes, I want to try an Abu Garcia. I just saw someone on YouTube post a video about their new model that's like 4.3 or 4.2 ounces. Crazy. It's like the lightest reel in the world. So yeah, I'm gonna possibly look into getting into that, but that's probably a Japanese market thing. I'm not gonna be sure about the availability and stuff, so we'll see. But that seems pretty interesting, and I feel like my loose custom light right here is pretty freaking light. Imagine if you have that Abu Garcia that's like 0.9 ounces, almost a whole ounce lighter than this. This thing would be a freaking feather, man. I mean, I'm telling you what. This is a fun setup to throw with, especially these ultralight bait casting finesse type lures. I imagine that Abu Garcia that just came out is going to be really, really nice. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get it. All right, let's see here. Penn Fierce 6000 on a 12-foot ugly stick, big water. How's that set up? Penn is very American. I've had some Penn reels in my life. I just don't use them because they're just the weight of them. But they're solid reels. I had the Conflict when it first came out a couple years ago. I've also had the big Penn spinning reel. I forgot the name of it. Gosh, someone remind me. It's the big one. You see Thresher using it. I had that one too for a while. Honestly, I don't know what happened to it. I think I might have left it behind and it got stolen. But it was a solid reel. Just the thing about Penn is it's a bit heavy, and when you're casting all day long, it's just becomes cumbersome and stuff like that. So I mean, but don't get me wrong. Penn is a great American company. They make awesome products. Maybe one day I'll pick up another spinning reel and pair it up to an old 18 and see how that does. But I'll probably see what they have in the 1,000 series version. And one thing I do notice about Penn is like their sizes are bigger than like the competitors. So for example, if you get a Penn 2500 spinning reel, that would equate to Shimano like in their 4000 series. So, you know, they're a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I like Penn. I have nothing against Penn. Any more hunting trips coming up? Yes, hopefully. I don't have anything planned. So I need to contact some people. If you guys want to, you know, invite me to your land and do some hunting, you know, I'm always up for that too. You know, just send me an email and we'll get things worked out. But you guys like the hunting? I mean, I'm certainly enjoying the hog killing and the turkey hunting. Hopefully, when deer season comes around and fishing slows down, I'll do some deer hunting. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. A lot of you guys know that I'm big into firearms. It's a good way to get those firearms out of my safe and use them. They've been cooped up in there for a little bit and give you a different, you know, different content besides just kayak fishing and bank fishing and all that stuff. Because, you know, I don't know about you, but fishing is fishing, and sometimes fishing can get monotonous, and it's always pretty much the same thing. But don't get me wrong, I love fishing. I love fishing above anything else. But yeah, hunting is a good transition. So yes, I am going to continue to hunt. Can I raffle my Hobie? Maybe. We'll see what happens. No, I don't use. As earlier I said, I don't use the Concept Z no more, is because, you know, I just prefer using Shimano. But my Concept Z is still in working condition. I just had it maintained a few months ago. It's been sitting in my room. I haven't been using it. But if you guys are interested in buying a left-handed Concept Z, let me know. Send me an email. I'll give you a good deal. What happened to my boat? Okay, that's a question I get a lot. The Boat Rover was more of a experiment per se on my channel. I had big plans for it. I wanted to use it to travel to far places to fish, but unfortunately, the size of it and the weight and there were just other things that I didn't like, that didn't fit the type of fishing I like to do. So therefore I sold it. And same thing with the Johnny boat. It's a cool little concept, but you know, I don't really need it per se, because I figured, you know, the type of fishing I like to do in the marsh, it's not that far. I mean, there are places that might be 5 miles out, and yes, having a motor would definitely be beneficial. But yeah, I just figured it wasn't being used, so I thought better off, it might be better sold. It's a cool concept, the Boat Rover, but it's a big platform. It's a big stand-up paddle board, and when you have winds, it's very cumbersome. With the Johnny boat, it's very lightweight. It has a motor, so you can travel far, but then again, it's very small at 10 foot. Or 10 and a half feet. Now, if they came out with a 12-foot version, that might be a different story. That might be a more better fit for you know, kayakers, because in my opinion, I feel like a kayak should be anywhere from 11 to 13 feet long to be what's the word I'm looking for? Just to be able to fish with better, if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I prefer a kayak or a vessel that's at least 11 to 12 to 13 feet long. So yeah. But yeah, I sold it a while ago. Favorite jetty, public place to fish the salt. I don't have a favorite per se, but I do fish Freeport, Brazoria, and Matagorda a lot. Galveston, I do fish some, but for some reason I spend more time in Freeport. Once again, Freeport, Brazoria, Sargent also, and Matagorda. I spend more time there. I don't know. Maybe the marshes are better there. I don't know. I tend to have more luck. I'm pretty superstitious. The jetty, obviously, you know, we don't have that many jetties here, but the Surfside jetty and then Quintana jetty. I haven't been to Quintana jetty this year yet, but when I did go last year, I did catch some Spanish mackerel. So those jetty systems, the Galveston North Jetty, CrossFit Ferry, that'd be another good place to kayak if the conditions were right. I think Mark went recently and he tore it up there with some bull reds. But yeah, we don't have the jetty system here in our Galveston, Houston area. It's not that great compared to like Port Aransas or Corpus. So okay, let's see. One fishing vet. What size leader line do you use to pair with a 10-pound braid? I use 12-pound fluorocarbon leader line. I use a wide variety of brands. I use. Let me see if I can get one here. Let me show you. This is my money bag. When I take with my autopilot, I keep several lures in here. But here's the leader line, the fluoro leader line. I know this is pretty jacked up, but this is the Yozuri. This is the top knot mainline fluorocarbon layer. This is 12 pounds. This is what I like to use as a leader line when I'm using my ultralight and light action setups. Now, if I am using like the medium action, I'll go 20-pound. Let me go get that real fast. Sorry guys, here it is, the 20-pound Seeger Red Label fluorocarbon leader. This is what I use for my medium action and probably my medium light rods because it has more backbone to it. And when you're throwing a heavier bait, right? You're throwing a heavier bait, say like this setup right here with a hydrobug, and when it gets really wet, it gets pretty heavy. And say you're throwing it, right? If you use a leader line that's less than 20 pounds, and for some reason you backlash, this thing is going to keep going, right? It's going to snap your leader line. So I've learned to go with a heavier leader line. So the 20-pound is what I like to use with my medium light and medium setup, like this one right here. This is a medium action, Old 18 hollow point with the Daiwa Tatula. All right, let's see here. Where is the SLX? That's a good question. I actually sold the SLX DC to a Patreon because he wanted my SLX DC, and I thought it'd be a good time to upgrade to a different reel. So that's why I sold it. There was nothing wrong with it. I don't know. I'm bipolar like that. I like to change out reels and setups. It just makes me happy. Talk about the SLX DC. Okay. It's an awesome reel, man. Straight up. It's probably the best, I guess, less cost DC reel Shimano makes. I had nothing but pleasure throwing it when I had it. The only issue I had with it is the finish. I didn't like that matte, grindy finish to it, and it seemed like it scratched easier than, say, something like, oh crap, say something like this right here. How it's glossy and oh, what's up, Rotato? So this, something like this glossy right here. SLX DC is very matte finish, and it seemed like it scratched. That's the only thing I didn't like about it, but everything else, it performed beautifully. I put it through its paces. I've caught a lot of big fish with it, and I recommend it. If you want a lower cost DC model, then definitely look at the SLX DC. Look at it hard, for real. Do you use leader line and whatnot? Yes, I do use leader line like I showed you guys. So let me show you on all my kayak and wade fishing, bank fishing setups. This is what I have. I know it's a little bit messy, but I go uni to uni. Here's my leader line. Here's my braid line. And then when I tie my lure to the leader line, I use a trilene. Or I think it's called a Berkeley, but Triley and Berkeley, I think they're the same company, but it's been pretty effective. But lately, I've been having a lot of bad luck with losing fish with my knots. But to my defense, right, a lot of them had to do with frayed leader line from Oyster. So keep that in mind, all right? Always check your leader line. But yeah, uni to braid to leader, and then leader to your bait, Trilene or Berkeley. That's what I use. Nick, where's the spot the last time you fished for bass? Which one is that? You have to be more specific. What other soft plastics do I use other than biobaits? And if not, none, why not? So biobaits, as you guys are probably already well aware, biobaits is a I wouldn't say sponsor of the channel, but biobaits is a partner. Let's say a partner, right, of the channel. And I actually like their lures. I do, when you do use my discount code RXAngler, I do get a small little commission. So therefore that helps the channel out. But I wouldn't be vouching for a paddle tail company if it didn't work. And, it works pretty good. So, and I love how, these are like indestructible. I mean, I swear to God, you can catch like 20 slot reds on one paddle tail and it'll finally tear. I mean, that's how strong these are. I think Mark has done a series of biobaits, how many fish he caught, and it was astounding. And I can back his claims because I've caught some big fish on one paddle tail and it's never torn. Other than that, I still use hoagies. Let me show you that. All right, here's my little tackle box that I keep my hooks and stuff. You can't go wrong with the black chartreuse and red flakes. This is what I use. I still use it ever since you guys have been seeing me on the channel. I also like the chartreuse with pearl color, and another cool one is like the June bug, or it's the purple. But I use the hoagie still, and I use it on a owner's 1/8 ounce swim hook. Also have the Bass Assassin swim hooks. This is a 1/8 ounce. I also use these. But yeah, I use biobaits and I use hoagie still. I'll use other different brands, but I'm specific where I just don't really mention it on the channel, because I guess I wouldn't endorse something if I'm not 100% confident in it. So yeah, but for sure the biobait, Bugs Lure, biobait, and the hoagies I'm confident in, and you guys see me use them majority on the channel. Slick Rick, what's up, Slick Rick? Glad you can make it. Have I tried the 13 fishing prototype? I don't think I have. When I first started my channel, a little background information, I was actually a pro, I hate using that word, pro. I was part of the pro team, and that doesn't mean professional, guys, all right? There's a big difference, right? There's promotional, which is pro, and then there's sponsor, okay? So just getting in the business of YouTube and how that works. When someone says pro, pretty much that means they just get a discount. When someone is sponsored, they're getting the products to be used on the channel for free because you're promoting them, and at the same time there can be some monetary value behind that. So that's that little business about it. But yeah, I was on their pro team. I don't think I've ever did the prototype, but however, I decided to split with them because I was going a different direction than what they wanted. So that's that. All right, Slick Rick, the H2O is great, but watch that side plate keeps popping off. Oh man, that's a big problem. You'd be reeling in a big fish and that side plate pops off and there goes your spool too, right? Jetty's on fire. Pescar fish. Oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah, man. I'm glad you're out there, dude. I hope you're catching fish, but make sure you keep distance from people, man. That virus is something you don't want to mess with. How much for the Z? Send me an email. We'll talk about it. All right, here. What's up, Tim? Glad you can make it. I hope you're doing well. The two Bugs lures that I mentioned that I use most frequently. The first one more time, is the curl tail. This is the black and gold color. This is the 1/8 ounce. I have it paired up with an ultralight setup. This old 18 suppressor ultralight with the Calcutta BFS Shimano. This right here is probably my favorite Bugs fishing lure available. I mean, I've caught so many fish. It's saved my butt so many times. I have it. I have a trailer, the BioBaits Grubs. I think it's called a chartreuse. Let me show you guys here. This is it right here, the grub. This is the 2.75 inch grub. One trailer goes a long way. I mean, like I said, these are really indestructible. I've caught so many fish on this lure right here. This is an old lure too, and I've caught at least, God, 10 fish on it. And this is the same trailer. It doesn't tear. The only time it'll tear is if a flounder came up and just held onto its tail by its teeth, and you're trying to pull it out of his mouth and it pulls it off. That's the only time it tears. But other than that, it's been money. This is my favorite Bugs fishing lure, the curl tail 1/8 ounce. And I also like, let me show you. Let me get my Bugs box. And this is my tackle box specifically for Bugs. All right, I keep all my Bugs in here. If you're going to ask me what my second favorite Bugs is this right here. The clickbait. Let me show you guys exactly what it is. Once again, if you're going to throw this lure here, you need an ultralight setup, unfortunately, because this is a very ultralight lure. But as you can see, it has these beads right here. These things make a racket. I've caught a lot of flounder using this lure here. I would say I've caught more flounder than any other species. I've caught redfish and speckled trout for sure, but flounder, absolutely love this. In the summertime, I use these in the marshes in Brazoria and Freeport, and I absolutely slaughtered the flounder. If I'm looking for flounder and it's summertime, hot, I'm throwing this thing right here. Especially when you start seeing the grass shrimp in the marsh, or shrimp in general, this would be a good bait to throw. This is my second favorite Bugs lure. Let me show you my third one. This is my third favorite Bugs lure. This is the Hothead. This right here is a 3/16 ounce. I like this a little bit heavier. You still need an ultralight setup to throw this. But this right here, if you can tell, if you can take a close look, it looks like a shrimp, right? Look at the detail of the eyes and the legs. I mean, this thing is money. I've caught redfish, big redfish, and I've caught flounder off this. Yeah, I've caught trout too, but mostly it's been redfish and flounder. So yeah, this thing has been absolutely a pleasure to fish with. So those are my top three: the Bugs curl tail, the clickbait, and the Hothead. This right here is a gotcha color. This is a color I have the most confidence in. But yeah, let me show you guys. Well, I can't show you this. This is a prototype. But everything else right here. This is my... Okay, let me move my finger, Nick, you idiot. This is my box of Bugs. The Hydra Bug is a new one that you guys see me throw on my recent videos. And I have it tied on to my medium action. This thing it's been pretty cool, man. It's a bigger bait. This would be probably more in line with the guys that haven't really fished ultralight stuff. This would be probably more of what you're used to in the weight wise and how big it is. But redfish and flounder. I haven't caught a trout yet, but redfish, flounder, and this is more tended for deeper waters. So anything I would say 4 feet and deeper. I know 4 feet's really not that deep, but 4 feet's pretty deep for a marsh. But yeah, that's my Bugs fishing lure box. Let me close it up before I lose everything. All right. Do I freshwater fish at all? Yeah, I do. I do. I love catching bass. I wish I can say I love catching crappie. It's like a unicorn to me. I can't catch crappie. I don't know how you guys do it. I still have yet to catch a crappie in like a year and a half, believe it or not, and it's been very frustrating every time I've gone out to Conroe, I'm using live minnows. I can't catch crappie, man. I just don't know what it is. It's like me trying to catch a freaking amberjack, I guess. I don't know. What's up, everyone? How are you doing? How's it going? I'm replying to everyone and saying hi. Okay, heard old 18 peeps are gonna be making some two-piece. You know, that's news to me. I've never heard of that. Where'd you hear that from? That's that'd be pretty cool to have some travel pieces, especially people that travel a lot. I think that'd be believe me. I mean I hear a lot of news from old 18 because I talk directly to them. That's the first time I've heard them coming out with a two-piece. But if that's the case, that'd be pretty cool. All right, sorry guys. Let me just go through these here. Do not ask Nick about knots. Okay, Ray, whatever. You're the one that's been tying my knots, man. That's why I lose my fish. Went to the Freeport Jetties 20 minutes ago. It was bad. Started to rain and super windy. Yeah, there's a, I don't know if you keep up with the weather, but right now there's a small watercraft advisory alert, meaning the winds are pretty high. So I would kind of stay away from the area until it passes. Do you prefer a left-handed baitcaster? Yes, I'm more comfortable fishing with a left-handed baitcaster. Reason why is because all my life, ever since I've been fishing, ever since my dad first put a rod and reel setup in my hand, which was a spinning reel with an ugly stick, I do vividly remember. Everything was left-handed. So from there on out, I just became a left-handed fisherman. And even though I'm a right-hander, I fish with my left-hander. I guess it's kind of like Phil Mickelson, right? Phil Mickelson is a right-hander, but he plays golf left-handed. I'm just more comfortable with it. I'm more accurate. And I don't know how you guys do it, all right? This is just my opinion. So when you're fishing right-handed, right, you're casting, then you got to switch over, and then you start reeling. To me, that takes a lot of time and effort and a lot more wasted energy. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I feel like if you're on a kayak and say you're like in a Hobie, right, and you're controlling the rudders with your right and left hand, and at the same time you have to switch your rod around to your left hand and use your right hand to retrieve, I feel like that's just wasted energy. I don't know, that's just my opinion. But left-handed, right, you cast it. If you're right-handed, you cast it, bam, you start fishing. So it's quick. Greetings from North Carolina. What's up, John? Glad you can make it. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the stream. Hey, man, thanks for coming on and chit-chatting with me. Is there a map or guide for wave fishing spots that I recommend? You know, they provide, if you go to any fishing store, you can purchase I think it's a kayaking or wade fishing map that folds. I forget the name of it. What's the name, guys? You guys know it. You see it at Academy all the time. They're like $20. I'd pick one of those up and start fishing. Google Maps. Google Maps is a powerful tool, and every freaking phone has it. So use Google Maps, open that up, look for places that you might be interested in fishing, and then once you find that area, look for spots that you can launch if you're on a kayak, or look for a trail, like a sandy shore or something if you want to bank fish. Google Maps is your friend, man. Use Google Maps. You can find a bunch of stuff. Hook and line maps. There you go. What's up from Freeport? What's up, man? How are you? Glad you can make it. So yeah, there you go. All the questions have been answered. Hopefully I answered all y'all's questions. So what else you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about kayaks? When do I plan to night fish? That's a good question. I do like night fishing. However, when it comes to filming at night, that's another layer, I guess, onion layer that I have to peel. As you guys know, us anglers, as YouTube anglers, when we film, we're using a GoPro, and unfortunately GoPro has the sorriest video quality at night. It's very grainy. It just doesn't pick up. It's very jittery. And then on top of that, you're trying to prevent your camera equipment from getting wet. So night fishing, trust me, I want to do more of it. It just takes more effort and time, I guess, per se, to do it. And on top of that, I'm an early bird. I fall asleep like around 8:30. Am I staying inside like Mark? Yeah, I wanted to go fishing today, but unfortunately, um, the weather is bad, and it's just the weather. If the weather was good, I honestly probably be out in the waters today. But unfortunately, the weather is bad, and it just didn't make sense. So I did some. Oh, how do you guys like my wife cooking? Do you guys like those? Just be honest. The reason why I'm asking is because she's starting a channel. Believe it or not, we filmed our first episode today, so I was helping her out with that. I need to get that edited soon. I'm her cameraman and her editor, I guess. So stay tuned, guys. Hopefully you guys will subscribe to her, watch her channel. She's going to be doing a lot of cooking stuff. So hopefully, I don't know if you guys like cooking, like eating. That would be awesome. I don't know the name yet. She still is deciding between 2 or 3 names to call the channel, but trust me, when I know, I will let you guys know. I'll post it on Instagram, I will post it on Facebook, and I will post it on the YouTube community tab. If you go to my webpage on YouTube, there's a community tab. I'll post it there, so you guys will be in the know. And I think there's going to be a lot of big plans. Hopefully, I don't want to speak too soon, but more catch and cook with fish. So when I catch something, I will give it to her and she will put it on her channel. Her aim for the channel is to make simple recipes for the regular person to do. Nothing too complex, but delicious at the same time. More aimed at the Asian recipes, I guess. But Asian is not going to be her. It's not going to, that's not going to be her main thing. She's going to do all types of cooking, everything that she knows, that she has in her noggin and on her phone, obviously, because she takes recipes and she puts them down. So, yeah, y'all stay tuned. I think it'll be pretty good. So, we will keep y'all posted. All right. When am I coming to South Georgia? Man, I would love to come. Trust me, I mean, right now my goal is to continue to produce videos. And then hopefully one day I will get to the point where I'm making enough money on YouTube, then I can do this full time. That's my dream. I want to become a full-time YouTuber. A lot of people actually laugh at that. Like, why do you want to become a full-time YouTuber? Do something else in the world. I get it. But I've already been there and done that. As you guys know, I'm a pharmacist. I'm a doctor of pharmacy. I went through, 12 years of school. I'm a professional. I love what I do. I get paid to help people, but at the same time, I find more enjoyment doing this YouTube stuff. So hopefully one day I'll get to the point where I become a full-time YouTuber, and I appreciate all you guys watching the channel. You guys watching the channel and interacting with it and all that good stuff actually helps the channel grow. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the reason why I am aiming towards that goal of becoming a full-time YouTuber. So back to the Georgia thing. Once I become a full-time YouTuber, I am going to do a lot of traveling also. Wherever the fish takes me, wherever I have opportunities, I'm gonna chase them because being a full-time YouTuber, you have to put out content frequently, or you're not going to make it too far. So yeah, hopefully soon. I know ICAST is right around the corner in the summer. Mark and I were going to hit up ICAST. Hopefully, if it's still on, let's assume it's still on, and then we'll try to do some fishing there possibly. But other than that, yeah, I do want to travel more. I do want to, venture out to Louisiana. I want to venture out to Alabama, Mississippi, the southern states. Go out to California. I'd love to do that. International, I would love to go to Korea and go fish there and see what they have to offer. Japan also. I mean, Australia, New Zealand. I mean, there's so many stuff. There's so many things I would like to do. It's just, meeting my goal and become a full-time YouTuber. I just gotta keep busting my butt. And like I said, I appreciate all you guys that are subscribed and you watch. It's one step closer to my goal. So yeah, hopefully, back to your question. Yeah, Georgia soon. I can name 50 places better than South Georgia. Hey man, every demographic, every place has a special thing about it, right? Let's just put it that way. Texas, you guys, if you want redfish, Texas is a place to come, right? If you want snook and you want mangrove snappers, Florida is a place to go. Oh yeah, like Rad Reeling Fishing. What's up, man? I'm glad you made it in. Like, you guys check out his channel. He has a lot of snook videos, sheep's head, if I recall, also mangrove snappers. I mean, their waters are totally different than what we have here in Texas. So the point is every place has, something special about them. So, yeah, let's see here. Lake Charles, man, I would love to go. It's been a while since I've been to Lake Charles. Last time I was there, I was at the Golden Nugget. I lost $2,000, but they have a nice golf course. If I can only have one kayak, Hobie or Old Town? Oh boy, here we go. I knew this question's coming up. Oh my God, that's a hard question. Honestly, I don't think I've used the Old Town autopilot as much as I want to say it. But I mean, I'm enjoying the autopilot. The negatives, you guys are probably already know. The negatives is the weight. I'm using that 56-pound lead acid battery, so gosh, that thing it's a tank. It's heavy, and on top of that, it's slow. Meaning that if I put the trolling motor on speed setting number 10, I'm draining my battery within 2 to 3 hours, and I'm not going to be traveling faster than 4 to 4.5 miles per hour. So, those are the two main things that are bothering me about it right now. But other than that, I wish the storage. I wish they can design a front storage hatch like the Hobie Outback has, like right at your feet. I wish they can do that. Other than that, it's been a pleasure. It's a very, very nice boat. The plastic on it is much better than the Hobie Outback. The design of it, meaning like the ingenuity, the motor itself, the GPS, spot lock, the technology, the remote control, the kill switch, the big rudder that comes with it. It's just a cool boat. It has so many cool features to it. Time will tell to see if it's going to be a perfect fit for me. But in order for me to do that, I need to get the right battery. Right now, I've ordered the FPV battery from Mariner Cells in Dallas. However, they're having issues getting it in because of the coronavirus, and everything comes from China, unfortunately. So there's a lot of issues with shipping right now. But once I get that battery and I, use it at least 2 to 3 months consistently, then I can give you a better answer to tell you if I rather pick the Hobie or the Old Town. But as of right now, if you had a gun to my head and you're telling me to pick one, it'd be the Hobie Outback. Reason why is because I don't have enough experience on the Old Town, and I can't give it a fair comparison because I don't have the right battery for it. I hope that makes sense. I know I went on a tangent there, but yeah. So as of right now, the Hobie Outback would be the one I would pick, but that wouldn't be to say 6 months from now or 2 to 3 months. Whenever my battery gets in and I'm able to use it more consistently, perhaps maybe the Old Town can be my main platform. But we'll see. But as of right now, it's a badass kayak. A bay boat. You know, I mean, I don't know. You never know what the future holds. Um, I mean, maybe one day we'll see. I'm not going to say no to it, but you know, baby steps right now. I've never owned a boat, so that'd be a new experience for me. Learning everything about a boat. You know, honestly, I would think I would get a bass boat before I get a bay boat. I know that sounds crazy, but I rather get a bass boat like you see the you know those bass fishermen like Lake Fork and lunkers. You see them use. I would rather get something like that before I get a bay boat. I know it sounds crazy, but yeah. I mean, I love bass fishing. I just don't do enough of it. I mean, bass fishing. You know, honestly, if let me just be honest with you guys. If I had a time clock, right, and I can go back in time, I think I would have started the channel as a freshwater fishing channel because I love bass fishing, man. It's so much fun. It's easy to do. Plus, you know, there's a bigger crowd for bass fishing. Saltwater fishing is only, you know, it's only demographic, you know, towards the southern states and west coast and east coast. But bass fishing, there's freshwater throughout the whole United States. So there's a bigger crowd. You know, honestly, I might have done that if I had a time machine, but I don't know. I digress. Okay, is a prop drive in the old town not shallow enough for the marsh? So far, from my experience, I can go down to 1 feet. 1 feet, one is it 1 feet? 1 foot. 1 foot of water. When I see my hummingbird go to 0.9 feet, then I know my prop or my drive, my motor is going to hit the ground. So I found that 1 foot spot is the sweet spot on my hummingbird. So yeah, you can use it up to 12 inches. Anything below 12 inches, hopefully you're not in a bed of oysters. You're going to mess it up pretty bad. And yeah, if you need to get skinnier, if you need to go in like 6 inches of water, obviously you got to pull it up. It's really simple the way they designed it. So, but for a big boat like that, 1 foot of water, I think is pretty good because on my Hobie Outback, if I'm in 1 foot of water, my fins are hitting the ground and they're retracting because I have the 2020 model. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty competitive to what Hobie can do in the skinny waters. Any more hunting videos? Yes, I am going to do more hunting videos. I just need some more opportunities. So if you guys want me to come and hunt with you guys, send me an email and we'll work things out. Lake Amistad. No, I've never fished Lake Amistad. It's a place I've heard of, and I would love to fish there one day. Surf fishing videos. Yes, I plan to do some surf fishing videos. My first year of YouTube, I did have a couple of them, if you guys recall. Throwing live croaker, getting some big old, speckled trout in those guts. I plan to do it, but the only thing is I will only surf fish if we have, obviously if the surf is flat. I don't like going when the waves are beating over you because, once again, I'm using my GoPro and it's not fully waterproof because I have the mic hooked up to it. So if I get water in that thing is damaged, and that's going to cost me $300 to $400 to replace. So, and on top of that, when I change batteries out, it's a hassle trying to take it off my GoPro hat and getting it from my box and putting it in. Your hands are all wet from wade fishing in the surf. So I'm going to do it. I just need a date when the surf is flat and I know speckled trout are biting. And yeah, most definitely I'll do it. Now, if it's on a kayak, that's a different story. That might be another thing I might think about doing because I have the autopilot and I can spot lock myself on a gut, and that would probably be an easier way to fish. So maybe I'll do that one. How's that sound? The bay boat, yes. All my money maintaining it, less time for fishing. Yes, that's another. When you get a boat, you gotta maintain it. When winter comes around, you gotta winterize it. There's a lot of things that comes in play when you go that route. That's a good point. Kayak fishing is it's easy. It's a piece of plastic. You float on that piece of plastic. It's easy to load and unload in your car or truck, and you go out and fish. That's one thing I love about kayak fishing. It's so what's the word I'm looking for? It's so, I wouldn't say intuitive. That's the wrong word. It's, gosh, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's easy, right? It's like it's nothing like a boat. Okay, what big fish that I've lost is etched in my memory? What happened? Just recently, I lost a big old, I would say, an upper slot redfish on my kayak because my knot came off. I'm still pretty angry about that. Let's see, Pro Angler 360 or Autopilot? Oh, man. Right now, I'm not saying this just because I have the Autopilot, but I would go Autopilot over the 360 because number one, the 360, that's $5,000. Well, the Autopilot 2 is 4,000 plus you spend if you want to buy a really good battery, that's another $1,000. So yeah, about $5,000. But the features the Autopilot has, like the spot lock, the auto locking GPS capabilities, how stable it is, the plastic on it. It's a damn good kayak. When everyone asks me about what I think about so far, I mean I love it. The only issue is being the weight. It's because I have a 56-pound lead battery, and I wish I had a front storage hatch. Those are my main two. Oh, then speed also. So yeah, I would take it over to Hobie 360 right now, and I'm not just saying that because I own the Autopilot. It's because I've demoed the 360 at ICAST, and the 360 is a nice boat. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't see, with the type of fishing we do, I don't see the 360 drive being as beneficial, and with having two different controls on your left. You have to kind of experience to know what I'm talking about. It's just more things you got to worry about. But the Autopilot it's when they say hands-free fishing, they've done a really good job to make that happen. So hopefully that answers your question. Corpus Christi or South Padre for monster flounders? Yeah, I would love to. It's just finding the time to go down there. I do want to fish the Laguna Madre area, Port Isabel. That's a place that I've marked for 2020 that I'm going to try to do. However, with this virus thing, a wrench has been thrown in my plans, and a lot of things have been changing, so it'd be a little bit more difficult. But yeah, I do want to go down South Texas and fish more. So, well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll be able to do that for 2020. Okay, what do I think about those small round boats like the Roundabout or Ultra Skiff? Honestly, I had a buddy show me one of those when I first started my YouTube channel. I thought they were really cool, but after looking at it carefully, it just looks like a damn donut. I mean, I'm not trying to offend anyone out there that may own it. I just don't see it for me. It just, I don't like the looks of it. I rather have a kayak. And if you're looking to get something with a motor, I'd rather have the Autopilot with the trolling motor, or get a Hobie Outback and put a Torpedo at the back like one of my buddies have. So I'd rather do that. Favorite rod and reel combo setup? That's a good question. Gosh, right now for bait casting, I would say my favorite. Right, it used to be the Metanium DC, but it's this bad boy right here. This rod and reel setup. I don't know if I told you earlier, but this rod and reel setup is my curl tail setup. I throw nothing but curl tail with this setup right here. This is the ultralight Old 18 suppressor rod. This is a made in USA blank by G. Loomis. I have the Shimano Calcutta BFS. And I have Shimano Pitbull. Like I said, I think this is, if I can't recall, I think it's close to 20 pound, maybe 14 pound of test braided line, but it's thinner than 5 pound. I can't remember. If you guys send me an email and you wanted more information, I can send you a link. But my curl tail with the biobait grub at the end, this is my favorite setup so far. Reason why, because this thing is a monster. This reel right here, it's designed to throw light action lures, light lures, BFS lures, and this thing is a beauty to handle. Plus, it just looks good, right? I mean, it's just one piece aluminum frame. I love the drag. If you can hear it, it clicks. Tell me another reel, a bait casting reel that clicks, that has a drag that clicks like that. I don't know any of them do, but this thing is my favorite right now. As of right now, things always change, obviously. Will I ever sell one of my kayaks? Well, you know, David, I actually sold a lot of my kayaks. I always let my patrons know first. Those guys, if I always send them an email, and usually it's the patron that buys them first. But if the patrons don't buy them, then I will definitely, I can send out a message through YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. It's RX_angler. Or follow me on Facebook. It's just Texas RX Angler. I send a message out there. But I'm always moving kayaks around just because of the limited space I have in my storage. But yeah, I sell them. But right now, I'm very happy with what I have. I have the Old Town Autopilot 120 and I have the Hobie Outback. Those two kayaks I use the most. So I'm pretty happy. To say that I will sell maybe the Hobie in the future, if I deem that the Autopilot is worthy as a full-time main vessel, I will do that, but that's going to be later in the future when I determine if the Autopilot is that go-to kayak. Do I miss wade fishing? Yes, Tim, I do miss wade fishing. I'll probably end up doing it I did a few times last year out in South San Luis Pass. When I get the chance, if the weather is good and not high winds, I'll grab a bucket of live shrimp and I will go wade fishing and I'll catch some speckled trout like I did last year. But wade fishing is fun. Kayak fishing is fun. Jetty fishing is fun. Pier fishing, you know, fishing in general is fun. I have no discrimination against the types of fishing out there. If I'm able to do it, I will do it. So. John Pena, is that Cliff? Is that you, Cliff? All right, guys. So if you guys seen my videos, Cliff, John Pena, he's on the live stream. He's a gentleman with the land that has the hogs and the turkeys. If you guys want to go shoot some hogs or turkeys, send that man an email, and he will let you know all the logistics and all that good stuff. But he has a lot of animals on that property, and yeah, I would love to shoot some hogs soon. I want to bring my wife and I want to bring my little boy. I want him to shoot their first pig. Yeah, stay tuned. I'll send you a message, Cliff. Honest opinion on down south lures. I have nothing against down south lures. I think in my opinion, based on my experience, they are a little bit weak. Meaning that you're not able to catch a lot of fish, say like with a biobait. They do tear easily. I've had, let me get where the heck is it? So right here, this is the Bugs fishing lure, the Hydra Bug, and the trailer, and this is a down south, I think it's called a burner shad if I'm not mistaken, but this thing, it doesn't, I'll be honest with you, it's not strong. I caught maybe 2 flounder and they completely tore it off. The plastic the down south lure uses is not strong at all, but the action is pretty good. I've noticed that speckled trout, you can really slay speckled trout with down south lures. I have nothing against down south lures. I don't know. I think, I feel like BioBaits is a better product. Based on my experience, I feel like Hoagie's is a better product. So I mean, but I have nothing against them. I think I think down south lure makes a great product too. Just fish with whatever you're comfortable with. If you catch fish, great. You know, just keep using that bait. What was my first kayak? My first kayak it was a conventional paddle-driven kayak. It was an Old Town, believe it or not. Old Town, gosh, I want to say a Predator 13. Might have been Predator 12, but I bought it for like $200 off Craigslist, and this was maybe about, say about 4.5, almost 5 years ago. But that was my very first kayak. It was pretty low end, meaning it didn't even have a rudder, so it was a pain in the butt to paddle, and it was paddle driven. So yeah, you know, I didn't use it much because of you know, how much work I had to put into it to catch fish. So that's why I kept on wade fishing when I first started my channel. I do have a couple, I think maybe one. I do have one video my first couple months I started YouTube where I took that paddle driven kayak to Christmas Bay, and I caught some speckled trout. But yeah, that was my first kayak. Ever since I've had Hobies in Old Town. So what are my thoughts on Googan baits for bass fishing? I think Googan baits are pretty good. They got a good product. I think they're on a I don't use them much per se because I don't bass fish as much as I want to. But if I was bass fishing, then definitely I'll use Googan baits. I'll also be using BioBaits. BioBait has, you know, well actually, like their paddle tail right here. This is a smell color. These are all first designed for freshwater fishing, but we've come to find out that redfish, flounder, trout, they love it too. So it works with saltwater fishing. So yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, I don't discriminate. I'll try different lures. You know, if I have them, I'll try them out. But as of right now, I lean more towards the products that support the channel. So BioBaits and Bugs is what you see me fishing the most on the channel. Have I tried AM lures before? No, I have not. So comparing the Old Town pedal system versus Hobie and or Native for a first kayak, which one would you lean towards? That's a good question. Just depends on what type of fishing you want to do. If you want to get shallow, it'd probably make more sense to go with the Hobie because how you can flutter the drive system. Then you also have to think about what's your budget, what can you afford, and then go from there. I mean, either platform. I've actually never fished from a Native, so I can't say much about it. But Old Town, Hobie, you know, you can't go wrong. Both great products. Yes, BioBait does make freshwater lures. Like I said, I would say all their lures are made for freshwater, but we tend to use them for saltwater. For example, once again, like you have the paddle tail. This is a smelt. And this is the grub. This is the slime color I like to call chartreuse. This is what I like to use with the Bugs curl tail. This is my trailer. Let me show you guys. One more time. I know you probably sick and tired of it, but right here, the Bugs curl tail, black and gold with the grub chartreuse color BioBait. I love the action on these BioBaits. I can use this curl tail almost like a paddle tail, so it's very versatile. All right, what else, guys? All right, man, looks like it's slowing down. Thank you guys so much. We've been live for 80 minutes. Okay, so what is my go-to set for jetty? That's a good question. I have it actually right here. This is my jetty rod, as you've probably seen in my videos. I have a Shimano Saragoza 6000 reel right here. I have 30-pound Power Pro braid, which I just put on recently. This is a custom jetty rod, 8 foot long. I have 40 pounds of fluorocarbon leader. This is my 2-ounce crocodile spoon with a, I want to say this is 50-pound barrel swivel. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I have it tied just like my kayaking setup. This is a uni to uni knot, braid to leader line. And then from the leader line to the spoon, it's the trilene or Berkeley knot. Has been pretty effective. You saw my last, if you see my last jetty video, I broke off. It's not because of the knots or anything like that. The guy that got hung up on me, his fishing line, his spoon, I know you can't see it on the video, but his spoon, my line got tangled up right in the split ring of his spoon. And after he got it cut off finally, I started reeling it in, and this line was rubbing on the edge of that that split ring, so it put some abrasion in the line, and then when that jack pulled away, it snapped it. So that's what happened. It sucked. I was pretty upset, but you know, it is what it is. South Padre Island for snook in the flats. I would love to, man. Hopefully soon. I want to go down south. Just gotta wait till this coronavirus settles down and everything goes back to normal. So, all right, guys, 81 minutes, man. 81 minutes live stream, man. It's been great talking to you guys. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for continuing watching my video. Also, reminder, my wife is starting her cooking channel very soon. Hopefully a new video out soon. I will let you guys know. She was very encouraged with all y'all's comments, so thank you so much for that. If you have any questions about gear or you need recommendations, you know, don't be afraid to email me. You can send me a direct message through Instagram. That's RX_angler. Send me a message through Facebook. Send me a direct email. My email is in the description box on the videos. I'd be more than happy. If you're interested in some of the Japanese lines that I'm using on my setup, then, you know, send me an email. I'll send you a direct link. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time, all right? You guys stay safe.